welcome back to Comic Universe, the only nerd-centric thing you need in your life. DPZ rolling solo once again with another comic review that was provided to us by our good friend here on the channel, Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you once again. And this is the last of the haul he gave us. This is the last book of the haul he gave us. Gave me back in October. Yeah, it's taken me all the way to December to read all the books from October. Yeah, and don't worry, Chris assured me that there'll be another huge haul coming soon. So, and some bonus hauls here and there, according to him. So, I'm looking forward to it with much anticipation. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Chris is going to be sending me very soon, so I can review it on the channel. So, let's get started with the review here on this comic, and that is Godstorm, Volume 1 by Pat Shard, who most of you guys remember. I did a review on Robin Hood on my channel. For those who remember. But yeah, basically what this is a, this is part of the Zenescope universe. Zenescope is this is actually the second comic I've read from Zenescope, and funny enough, it's by the same writer as Robin Hood. And I'm actually starting to, the more I read about the Zenescope comics, I'm more and more intrigued by it, because for the longest time I just thought that Zenescope was just meant to be for, you know, to be over-sexualizing characters and whatnot. But there's actually some story in there. There's actually some, like, legit story to these characters. And this shows in Godstorm. And what is Godstorm? Godstorm is pretty much a series that centers around Zeus, who is watching over one of his children that have been reincarnated, and that child is named Julian, but in the past he was known as Zegerus, who was this vain, angry son who was essentially, you know, wanted to be worshipped as a full god and murdered all of his followers. And Zegerus has been reborn over time, and Zeus is kind of worried this time around if he's going to be either a hero or villain. Meanwhile, you've got Venus, goddess of love, manipulating Julian into using his power, and you've got some cool stuff with the other gods. Now, let's talk about the cool stuff in here. I really like the story of this. I mean, I've seen before, you know, gods hiding among mortals and all that, or being reborn again and again. I've seen that before. But this isn't a story about a hero. This is a story about a villain. This is the dude, before he was found out that he was the son of Zeus. Julian was the muscle for this kid named Tony, who was a thug, that pushed him around and treated him like the muscle. So, yeah, when he finds out he has god powers, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna blow his ass up and learn to use these powers. I know Venus, and it's interesting to see that Venus, goddess of love, is the one who is manipulating him, the one who's causing it. And there's a reason why she's doing this more to spite Zeus. It's really cool. Also, Zeus, while he claims to be a good father, everyone knows, yeah, you're full of shit, Zeus. You're kind of, you're one of the reasons Zegerus is the way he is, and why he's come back in this form. So, I dig that. I really dig that. And there's a kick-ass fight between Julian and Poseidon. Really dug that fight. Yeah, I really dig all the stuff that goes, all the story-wise stuff that happens in here. One thing I'm going to spoil this, is that if you're guessing that Hades is the villain, you're right, Hades is the main villain. And I'm so tired of Hades being the god of the dead being the villain, because really, he's not really an evil person. If anything, in Greek mythology, he's more apathetic than anything else. He's honestly a more apathetic being than he is a evil being. I mean, aside from kidnapping Persephone, but that's, it's like the one worst thing he's done. So yeah, once again, god of the dead. Ooh, big shock, he's evil. Yeah, also, and this is just me, this isn't really critique, this is more on me, is that they introduced they mentioned this other character named Heather, who has angel wings and carries around what I guess is Mjolnir, and they talk about her like she's an established character, which I did a little digging. I was like, oh, she is an established character in the Zenescope universe. So yeah, little bit of background I needed to get on this for it. But this is a neat story because Pat Shard has some great dialogue in here. I really like that this isn't the start of a hero's journey. This is the start of a villain's journey, and you hardly ever get to see that. So I really dug that, and also having Venus as a villain, that's really cool. You don't get to see that often. She's usually just played as the slut character, so good on him for actually making her a villain, and a very interesting one at that. So yeah. Now let's talk about the one thing that kind of held this book back for me. While issue, like the prologue issue and the little bonus story that comes at the end all have really good art, the main story's art is not that great. It looks like high school level art, like high school kid trying to draw manga level art, and yeah, doesn't like some of the facial work is kind of wrong, and some of the body fixtures are wonky. But I think the story more than makes up for the artwork. I really do like that the story makes up more for the artwork, but sometimes the artwork is kind of like takes me out of it. But other than that, I do like the story, and I'm curious to see more about Zajaris, and because like I said, it's kind of refreshing to see this whole god story, this whole, you know, kid finds out he's the son of a god and stuff like that, and oh, I'm gonna be a hero. No, this dude's like, I'm gonna be a villain. Cool? Cool. And Zeus takes it in stride because he realizes this was his fault. I like that. So, yeah, kudos for Pat Shard to give us a villain story that this was a cool villain story. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Zenoscope comics, I would say go check this out. If you're a fan of, like, gods and monsters and shit like that, go check it out. Just be forewarned that while the cover art is really good, interior art may leave you wanting. But, still, I think the story... I'm usually a person who's more story over pictures. But that's just me. I'm more of a story guy than I am an art guy. So as long as the story's good, the artwork can be bad. I mean, I'm gonna ding the story regardless for bad art. But still, I'm going, usually if a story's good enough, I will stick with it. So, there you go. Anyway... So, there you go, guys. That's my review for Godstorm Volume 1. Chris, once again, thank you so much. And if you're new here, remember to Hulk smash that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications and be a part of Earth's Mightiest Subscribers. Like I said, we've still got our giveaway, our Super Smash Brothers giveaway, and soon to be Spider-Man giveaway coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. Well, actually, it's actually going on now, but go check out that video for more. But once again, I'm DPZ, and I'll see you once more here in the YOUniverse.